Hey everyone, Dan McKenzie here with McKenzie Law Firm. We are an estate planning, estate administration, and small business counsel law firm in the Denver, Colorado area. And today I just want to make a video talking about a question that we frequently get from our clients as we're taking them through the estate planning process. And that's whether we're going to be sharing drafts with them of their documents. As we draft the documents, will we be sharing these different iterations so that they can comment on them? And so you might think that's a pretty weird question, or obviously you would expect to receive drafts, that would just be part of the process. And actually, after several years of experience with this and trying to figure out, okay, what is most helpful to the client, we've determined that sending drafts is really not very helpful. And after conversation with a lot of other estate planning attorneys, we think our experience is quite consistent with what other people see. And the reason that sending drafts is not necessarily helpful is because as hard as we try to make sure that these documents are accessible, that they're written in language that non-lawyers would be able to understand, there are inevitably going to be things in there that would not, the purpose of which would not be obvious to someone who was not trained in this and hadn't gone to law school or taken a bar exam and those kinds of things. And what we find is that when we send drafts without any explanation, all those instructions that might seem unnecessary, superfluous, not something that a client would necessarily think was necessary, really trip up the process and really kind of bring it to a grinding halt. And so what our approach is, and like I say, we think after conversation with a lot of other attorneys, this is consistent with how a lot of attorneys do this, which is it's more helpful for us to go over details with you, but not necessarily to just send you drafts without any explanation. What we do is after we get everything together, we will actually have a meeting with you. We'll go over the drafts. We'll explain what is there and why, and just give you the context so you can understand, here's what we're seeing, and why was this included. And once we do that, we find that a large number of questions that come up when people just try and review these documents on their own get answered, and the process moves a lot more efficiently. And the thing to understand about it is that estate planning documents, wills and trusts, powers of attorney, they're not contracts. And so I think the thing that kind of is difficult for clients is that when they're signing these things, you're signing in front of witnesses, it's being notarized, you're being asked to make statements, kind of confirming your capacity. So it really, it feels like signing a mortgage or a car loan or any other substantial transaction that you do. And it's really important. I mean, it's really important to have the documents be correct. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm glib about that point. But they are not contracts. They can be changed. They can be amended without limitation. And so as long as you are alive and able, you can keep amending and fixing and addressing mistakes if you need to. Of course, we're trying to make sure there are no mistakes. But any change, you should always have the attitude that your estate planning documents are kind of a living document anyway, and that you're going to be amending them and updating them as your circumstances, your financial circumstances, your family circumstances, your opinions about how you want things to go evolve over time. So these are never really set in stone. And so it's just important to understand that in a lot of cases we find it's better to keep the ball moving and not necessarily drop a document on somebody that can be quite long and have, like I say, citations to the U.S. The Treasury regulations or IRS code or state statutes and things like that just are going to be too difficult for someone who is, like I say, not looking at this stuff every day to understand without some guidance on what that means. So we do not send drafts, like I said, we've found that really is, in the end, to the benefit of the client, who doesn't need to waste a lot of time agonizing over something that can be explained quite simply. And so if we can help you with this process, we're happy to do it. Our phone number is 303-578-2745. Again, we're in Colorado, so we can help Colorado people, Colorado residents, or people who have property here. We are the McKenzie Law Firm, and I appreciate your time, and thank you for watching.